Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. Tonight we are back with Put a Ring on It Season 2, Episode 11, The Reunion. Child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade. If you are back for a second or third time, then welcome back, child. Y'all already know we're about to get into it as we get into it. Please do not hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you get anything out of the content. And please do not hesitate to hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, child, let's get into it. All right, so y'all know it's the reunion, right? It's time for the reunion. So they have Egypt. She's hosting. Hey, girl, honey, I hope you do better than you did over there on Bell Collective and let these people actually talk. Everybody cleaned up nicely. Dr. Nicole, girl, got the ponytail more zhuzhed up today, honey, sitting to the top instead of sitting to the back. Okay, girl, got a little zhuzh to you. So Egypt starts talking about the cast and the experiment, right? So the first question she asked Alexia. She said, did you get what you came for? She was like, mm-hmm. Y'all know how Alexia is, child. So then Egypt said, let's take a look at Dr. Nicole. She just kept dropping them famous gems that made everybody think. Yes, honey, because we were confused. Honey, we didn't know what Dr. Nicole was talking about. Well, at least I did, honey, so I'm going to speak for myself. Sometimes I was just so confused, I didn't know whether I was coming or going. But that's just me. She said, let's take a look. So then we see all of the riddles our favorite love doctor dropped throughout the season. So Egypt asks why she believes in the process. She said, Dr. Nicole, why do you believe in this process? She said, because it's really about managing yourself. And then she went off on a tangent, child, and I'm not going to get into it as she got into it. Okay. So then she says, we focus on fixing the other person when we should focus on fixing ourselves. Now, I have to agree, but to a certain extent. Okay. I feel like this process is opening Pandora's box. I mean, if you got to date somebody else to see if you want me, honey, then I don't want it. Okay. No, thank you. So Dr. Nicole said, people come up to her in the store and around. They say, the show is really good. I watch it with my girlfriend and it's also helping us. So then Eric said, Dr. Nicole gave it to us straight, no chaser. Okay, child, honey, y'all gonna give Dr. Nicole her flowers because my opinion is that Dr. Nicole's spoken too many analogies for me. But I appreciate them judging her up and whatnot. Just speak your speech, lady, okay? In the future, just say what needs to be said so we can go on about our business, okay? So then, child, Alexia said, Dr. Nicole gave me an analogy about playing basketball. And she said, have you ever had to bet against yourself? And she said, of course, I'm like, nah, I'm always win. She said, but then I realized that I was betting against myself. And if I never went through this process, then, we would be engaged and I wouldn't have known anything. Now, mind you, Alexia and Darion are sitting on two separate couches. So, I mean, according to the people, they're no longer in a relationship. But we're going to get into it as we get into it. Oh, sis, trust me. It would have eventually come out. Okay. What's done in the dark always comes to the light. And I think this platform allowed it to be highlighted so Darion, old crusty the clown behind, couldn't try to manipulate you into staying. That's what happened. I don't think that you would never have found out. I think it was going to come out. Darion said, everything he did, his gut told him to do. Oh, so your gut told you to lay down with Kai. Child, this ninja still don't feel no remorse for what he did. None whatsoever. And you know what I noticed? He has another one of those ugly flower shirts on. Y'all know I hate them shirts. He back in them flower shirts, child. But anyway, so then Egypt said, let's talk to Laronda and Sean. So they flash back to Sean upchucking and all of their ups and downs on the show. Y'all look like y'all going to a good old gala. Y'all look good, honey. The two of you clean up nice. LaRonda's hair was shining and whatnot. I'm like, okay, yes, ma'am. So LaRonda said, she learned she does enable him. And a lot of people say that she coddles him. And why does she cater to him? And Egypt said, that's what you should do when you love someone. You should cater to them. Okay. Now, yes, you should show them that you love them, but not to the extent it comes off as mothering. I don't want you to confuse the two. Then they show their dates, right? We see Brittany, Sir James, and Derek. They all come out. So Egypt asks Sir James a question first. She said, how was it dating Laronda? He said, it was good. Her energy was good. Her vibes were dope. He sees why Sean slid into the DM, right? So then Egypt says, so what about Sean? What happened when you met him? He said, I was thinking to myself, I can never meet a woman that doesn't have kids. So Egypt said, so you thought he was her son? He said, yes. She said, this grown man. He was like, yes, I did. I thought that was her son. Now, Sir James, listen to me, honey. Now, Sir James, honey, you're cute, but that was so lame. Okay, it sounded very rehearsed. It sounded very salty. Okay, this man was not her son. You literally interacted with him for 5 minutes. So, what is all this smoke? It's giving very much bitter. Boy gone. And Laronda, you grinning, honey. He basically saying you look old enough to have a grown child. Sir James, you need to grow up, honey. I wasn't feeling it. So then Sean gonna say, you the one that played flag football at almost 40. When I tell y'all I hollered. Listen, we didn't get to hear the comedic timing that is Sean. But when I heard that, child, I hollered. Laronda was like, it's okay. It's okay. Just be quiet. It's okay. Child, please don't get Sean started. So then they talked to Brittany and her T-Balls wig, honey. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Shout out to TLC. I was like, girl, not this T-Balls wig. Okay, girl. She said, she felt their third date was a little bit misleading, honey. Brittany, stop trying to have a moment, honey. Okay. I know you thought y'all were going to continue to get into it, but it just didn't happen. She said he was offering to take her to Florida. Yes, he said you missed your bus. So he was going to take you down there because he felt guilty that you had to film with him instead of going to your gig. Okay, don't try to make it sound like that because we already got the truth. So she thought it would be more dates coming, but it wasn't. So you wanted closure too. Is that what you're saying? Baby, this season's dates are needy, ain't they? So then she spoke to Derek. He behaved as a grown man and said Sean was lucky to have Laronda. She said, you went on multiple dates with him. How was that? She said, I went on multiple dates because I felt he could teach me something. I could learn something from him. He was really knowledgeable. Sound like a daddy to me. Y'all know how I felt about Laronda and Derek. Now, I know that Laronda liked Derek. I know he was the more mature out of the people that she dated, but I don't know. I just didn't really see the chemistry there. It sounded like he could be her mentor rather than her mate. That's just what I got from it. So Egypt said, people in the internet streets, they said they wanted the two of you together. So Laronda said, if Sean wasn't in the picture, he would definitely be on the roster. Well, girl, is he starting 5? How many people on the roster? Sean, I'm surprised you didn't have a fit, honey, because we know how you get. Baby, Laronda said he put in all that work. He want to be the MVP. I told him, ain't no taming me. I love my men equally. Shout out to Megan Thee Stallion. Honey, I know that's right. So Jessica and Eric, they come out because we're doing the segments with just the couples, okay? So then Jessica and Eric, they come out. You two look nice. And baby, Jessica gonna make that baby have. She don't do nothing else, okay? Baby, Jessica gonna lay that baby hair down. Do y'all hear me? So they do their little flashbacks. And listen to me, y'all. I just want to make something clear. Last week, I missed the part where she said he was calling her a thought and a hoe. Okay, y'all normally know I don't cuss on my reviews. But it's just no other way to say it. I could have said garden tool, but we're going to get into it as we get into it. So I didn't hear that part. But let me just tell you something, Eric. First of all, that's disrespectful. Okay? It's disgusting. Eric, there ain't no way in this world I would want to rock with a person that calls me those kinds of derogatory names, honey. I don't know what y'all doing now, honey, but definitely you need to rethink getting married because that's not the move for the two of you until you work some things out. Child, that was a fool. I read that in the comments. I had to go back and rewind and watch again. I said, this girl said he called her a thought pocket. Thought pocket? I know he didn't. Child, goodbye. Anywho. Let's get back into it. So Jessica said, she didn't think they were going to make it. Child, neither did we. She said the constant arguing, she just wondered if this would be for the rest of their life. And will. Okay. So Egypt said, so what changed? Honey, absolutely nothing. There is no way you go from calling me a thought to being capable of having the mental maturity and bandwidth to be my husband. It just ain't gonna work. Honey, and I said what I said and I ain't changing it. But congratulations to the both of you. So Jessica said, she knew she didn't want anyone but him. That's how she realized that she wanted to move forward. And he said, it was her being willing to put in the work and to work through things. And what's so funny about when I hear Eric speak? It's always about what Jessica has to accomplish to be with him. Like, are y'all working through things together or is she just working on becoming the Jessica that you want her to be? Honey, I was a little bit confused by that. So then they showed the dates that they went on, right? So the daters hit the stage, and Laronda and Sean, they appear. Hey, y'all. And Egypt says, so I see you got a little bit uncomfortable watching those dates, Jessica. And she was like, yeah, it was just a little bit too much touching for me. And honey, she was looking directly at Leona Lewis, okay? Egypt said, Dr. Nicole gave y'all some good options as far as dates. Here go Eric. No, he gave us some great options, honey. He just trying to put out a subliminal to let Leilani know, honey, in case things don't work out. Call me. Honey, you ain't fooling me. I'm like, Eric, I am watching you. So Egypt said, we saw a little emotion and your voice got a little bit shaky, Sean, when you were saying goodbye to Jessica. What was it? Honey, scary. That's exactly what it was. Like, why are you getting all choked up? But like I told y'all, honey, he probably ain't never seen nobody as bad as Jessica. And that's just what it is. That's what I believe. And he said, I was just disappointed. Children cry when they're disappointed. Baby, don't let Sir James hear that. He'll start calling you a child. She said, do you think if Eric wasn't there, it would be more dates for the two of you? He was like, yes, absolutely. Honey, I don't think so. I really do not think that the two of you would be dating outside of this experiment. I just don't see it. I mean, yes, you did, shower her with words of affirmation, which is her love language. So it was given what needs to be gave, but it was coming off as inauthentic. That's just my opinion. Moving forward, they talked to Leilani about her octopus hands, honey, because, she was touching all over Eric and whatnot. And she said that's just her job. That's just the way she does things. Eric said, we really had some chemistry. So Leilani said, he never asked for my number. He never was disrespectful to Jessica. He was just a gentleman, right? So Jessica was like, listen, I didn't really like your dates because I felt like it was a lot of disrespect happening. All the touching, y'all talking about trips, the respect factor, it just wasn't there. So Leilani said, well, the trips we were talking about, those were trips for the two of you. Jessica said, oh. Well, okay then, child. Please disregard that last statement, honey. Don't even worry about it. So then Egypt asked what they learned, right? Eric said he learned that he can resist temptation. And Jessica said she learned that people can see beyond her physical. Moving forward. Okay, honey, it's time for the main event. Egypt said this is the storyline you've all been waiting for. Honey, not storyline. These are people's lives, girl. But carry on. So then we go back down memory lane. And you know what, y'all? Lord, I forgot how much I hate Darion's voice. Child, I forgot how much it annoyed me. Alexia, you look so pretty, honey. You're a beautiful woman. I love that dress. Girl, sit up and hold your shoulders back. I'm loving it. I know it's going to be hard to watch this, but listen to me. Everything happens for a reason. Your steps are ordered. Every single move that you make throughout the day, it was already written before you even got out of the bed, okay? So don't worry about this. So then Egypt starts to speak to Alexia, right? Alexia said, had there been no closure meeting, then we would have been engaged. Listen to me. With a vindictive woman like Kai, she would have made sure that you found out. So you can stop repeating, if we didn't get the closure, I would not have found out. Also, I want you to always follow your gut because where there's smoke, there's fire. She said he was the last person she thought would do that because they were friends first. See me? I don't put nothing past nobody, okay? Not to mention you had that gut feeling. Ladies, always go with your gut. Alexia, she was being vulnerable. She had a few tears in her eyes, honey. She was literally on the edge of her seat. Child, poor thing, honey. She was sitting at the edge of that seat. Do y'all hear me? Just as tense, wouldn't even sit back or nothing. I'm like, oh, baby, she ready to get into it. Or she get into it, okay? Now, she done poured out her heart. Here comes this ninja talking about, I was doing things, that were all about her. But none of my needs were being met. Shut up. Just shut up. Y'all know I cannot stand him. Y'all know I can't stand it. Egypt said, like what? Honey, she probably just wanted him to shut up. He said, he starts to lie because y'all know literally everything he says is a lie. He was like, none of it was being met. Oh, child, please hush. He said, and all that, I wasn't going to tell her unless the meeting happened. Okay, boy, please. Okay, you went home, her home. Okay, I just want to make sure I put that in there. That's just a side note. After y'all had sex and proceeded to try and make things right, honey, and I'm doing air quotes. After you had already laid that lady down, honey, you declined another date fearing it would come out. That's what happened. But Dr. Nicole pulled an Iyanla and said, not on my watch, honey, and made you offer her closure. That is exactly what happened. There is no way you were going to tell this lady what happened without that closure meeting. You were hoping all of this would just go away when you said no to the 5th date. Then you called the sex a stress reliever. And she still wants you after that? Oh, Alexia, honey, you dodged the biggest bullet ever. Do you hear me? And I do mean ever. Moving forward. He said, I didn't see no marriage because my needs weren't being met. Egypt said, what needs? He said, we weren't having good sex. Alexia said, let me stop you. No, Alexia, honey, let me stop you. Okay, no need to explain anything. This nasty shell of a man has not only humiliated you on TV once, this Ninja Turtle looking dude proceeds to say that your Hello Kitty was trash too? Girl. Sir, the unmitigated gall of you to try the oldest, lamest line in the book and say her sex was whack. Child, you so childish. You are such a freaking imbecile, honey. A grade A weirdo. Okay. She said, oh no, I wouldn't have sex with him. That's what it was because I sensed that he was cheating. He was begging and clawing at the door, trying to get back in, telling production he wanted to marry me. And he was like, yeah, facts. Okay. So why would you want to marry somebody to be with the rest of your life that has a trash box? Literally. Like, make it make sense. She said, now he comes back saying, I was never getting a ring. Okay. Then he told me, he didn't even like her like that. Then he said, the sex was only one time, but I found out it was multiple times. Listen to me. They always downplay the other woman to try and pacify you for the moment, honey. He knew what he was doing. He knew if he told you that, it would make you feel more secure. Oh, he don't even like her like that. Well, he told me that he was going to go on these dates just to do something, just to be doing something. It's for the cameras. Girl, don't pop. Baby, look, don't believe the hype. I done heard it all. Heard it all before, but your lies ain't working now. Shout out to Sunshine Anderson. Moving forward. So then Egypt said, so how many times was it? He said it happened that day. How many times was it, boy? Was it 3 or 4 times? Was it 15 times? That's not answering anything. It was that day. What does that mean? You're a bold-faced lie, honey. Egypt said, you wanted to marry her. He said, facts. Child, this man is nuts. So Egypt said, okay, so let me get this straight. Okay, because we need finite answers. You two aren't together. Alexia said, no. She said, you won't be getting back together. Alexia said, hell no. Egypt said, you took him back after 14 years, so you sure about that? Okay, honey, we need to check in. We just have to make sure, honey. I mean, survey says, okay, you say you ain't gonna do it? Okay, you ain't gonna do it. She said, no, I'm not. He said, it was my choice. No, honey, it was your choice to cheat. It was her choice to leave. Try goodbye. She said, no, it was not your choice. I left you on the show. Honey, tell him, Alexia. Let me tell y'all something. When she said I let you go on the show, honey, I was screaming at that TV. You know what? I'm about to start doing some little segments over on my TikTok where I'm actually speaking to the screen as the show is on. And then I'm going to give y'all the review over here on the YouTube. Because, baby, y'all have to hear some of these unfiltered reactions that I have when I'm watching these shows. And, baby, when she told him, I left you on the show. Honey, his whole little face cracked. And I was like, tell him, bitch. Tell him. Baby, I was in here screaming at that screen. Do y'all hear me? She said, and when I left, that was the nail in the coffin. He said something, honey, but I wasn't listening, okay? Because I could really care less what he said. So I went to go have me a little bit of a refreshing beverage break. Always Coca-Cola. She ain't got time to be bothered with him. So Egypt said, so she gave you 14 years. He said, yeah, 14 years of lies, and I found them out through this process. Boy, please. Child, he is so hurt. He's saying any old thing. He said, I was doing this for you. Marriage isn't a dream of mine. Well, why were you saying 10 minutes prior you wanted to marry her? Honey, you mad because your time is up. Alexia said, I got an icebox where my heart used to be. Oh, I'm so cold, I'm so cold, I'm so cold. Shout out to Amarion. Baby, Alexia said that is it, honey. She is done. Moving forward. She was like, no, you're a narcissist, honey, and is. So then they took a little commercial break, but when they return, here come Kai stomping out. So then they do little flashbacks of their sordid affair. Honey, y'all know I'm dramatic. I can't just say flashbacks. I have to say their sordid affair. Okay, so they show us that mess. And Egypt said, okay, so Kai, so you liked him right away. What was it? Was it his walk? Was it his talk? What was it about him? She was like, it was everything. It was all of that. I'm like, oh, child, yeah, they belong together. They belong together. Darion said, she was a breath of fresh air, especially because I was just always arguing back at the house. Egypt said, Alexia, what are your feelings? Because I can feel your energy even behind me, honey, because Alexia was fuming, okay? So Alexia proceeds to repeat all the lies he told about him not being into her. Listen to me, Alexia, honey, don't even waste your breath, sweetie. It doesn't matter what he said. He showed and proved something totally different. He said that to throw you off of his scent. I'm telling you what I know, honey. That's the oldest trick in the book. His playbook is stuck back there in the early 2000s with his Field Mob music catalog, honey. A fool. Okay? Boy, gone. This girl does not care what he said. She just wants to win. So just keep it to yourself, okay? Because they don't even really care. So then Egypt said, so what do you think your role was in this? She was talking to Kai, right? She said, I needed to do what I needed to do to find love. Girl, honey, that's the wrong show. Right creator, wrong show. This is a Will Packer production. Don't get me wrong, honey, but you belong on Ready to Love if you're trying to find love. This was somebody else's man. Okay, that's why I don't like this experiment. Mixing my man up with another woman. Honey, you got enough problems out here in the free world. You gonna put us in an organized environment and start cheating? Oh, no, ma'am. Honey, no, ma'am. I'm not gonna be able to do it. Egypt said, well, what was he telling you that we didn't get to hear? Again, with the elementary school game, she was like, he said that they were over and he wanted to be with me. Yes, honey, so he could sleep with you. That is why. Child, so then Egypt said, but there was a ring, and he said he wanted to marry her. So Kai was like, yeah, I wasn't aware of that. Well, honey, that's the premise of the show. Put a ring on it. We've been so in love for a minute, nah. Like, that's the show. Like, what you mean you weren't aware that he was going to give her a ring? Girl, okay. She's like, this is the first time I'm hearing that. But you said on the show that you could tell that he loved her. Like, what are you saying, honey? So she was like, so how many times did y'all sleep together? So she gonna look at him for the answer. She was like, Darion. And Alexia said, we got his answer. We want to know what you have to say. So then Egypt said, so when was it? So then Darion gonna say, it was the third date. Egypt said, I asked you, Kai, why didn't you answer? Why did you wait for him to answer? She was like, because I felt like he's the one that needed to answer it. So she was like, okay, so how many times did y'all sleep together? And she said, after the third date. You an after the third date lie. Child, is all lies. So y'all hear me? All lies. Y'all said on the show that y'all slept together after the fourth date. Now y'all done moved it up to after the third date. Child, but we're going to keep getting into it, and then we're going to really dissect the timeline because the math ain't mathing. Moving forward. So then she was like, well, we slept together more than twice. Okay. So did you sleep together multiple times on the same day? Because y'all only went on 4 dates. So if you slept together more than twice, that means y'all have been sleeping together since that very first encounter, which I kind of felt the way you hopped in that truck. Honey, I'm never going to forget the vision of you hopping in that truck. I knew something then. Let me tell y'all something. I'm very hypervigilant. I look at everything, all of my surroundings. I always peeping what's going on. And I picked up what she was putting down when she hopped in that truck. But y'all, let's keep going. Egypt said, so why not after 14 years, didn't you give them a chance to work it out? I mean, woman to woman. And she was like, I did. I gave her a chance to work it out. When did you give her a chance to work it out? Before or after you slept with him? You only slept together 3 or 4 times, but you only went on 4 dates. So when did you give her a chance to work it out with her man? I mean, thank God you took him, but we're just trying to get the timeline together. So Alexia said, hold up. My energy is really not towards you. And I thought this was a very mature response because I'm not that mature because my energy is toward you and him. Both of y'all gonna get this smoke. Smoke, literally gonna get this smoke. And so are you because you knew that he was with me and he knew that he was with me. So I got to kind of go off on both of y'all. So here we go. She said, really, it's 98% toward him and it's 2% toward you. Now, even though Alexia was showing her grace, being a good woman, okay, she said, listen, at the time, he was trying to keep coming back to me and he was my man at the time. And I'm just trying to figure out, he's doing all of this, like, when will it stop? So he gonna say, it stopped a long time ago. Child, please, you still trying to this day. You're still trying to this day. Alexia, don't even give him the energy, honey. Don't even worry about it. So then Egypt said, Kai, do you still communicate with Darion? We're a relationship. I said, what? Child, when she answered that question, I rewound it like 5 times. I'm like, not we're a relationship. Girl, what? So anyway, they're in a relationship. And she said, so do you feel like you were the fallback plan? Honey, and was. So Kai said, do you think we're together to get back at you? She's talking to Alexia. She said, knowing him, yes. So Egypt said, well, we know his last date was to break it off with you and to tell her and to try to make things work out. So you got to know that y'all are together because they're not. Because his first choice would have been her. No, honey, his first choice was him. But okay, honey, put her up on game, Egypt. She said, how does that make you feel? She said, it makes me feel some kind of way, but I don't think I did anything wrong. See, and a lot of people were saying, well, why are you coming for Kai? She does not think she did anything wrong. Girl, you did something wrong. And Alexia asked the same question that I would have. She said, you don't think sleeping with a man in a relationship is wrong? She said, no, I don't owe you nothing. Girl, let these two junkyard dogs have each other. Child, please. I wouldn't even, baby, look, I would have to cut to commercial and I'm not even in charge. I'd be like, you know what? Let's just take a commercial. Don't even worry about it. Bring everybody else back out. We've said enough. Child, You don't owe her nothing. That is true. But this is another black woman, honey. You contributed to someone else's pain. Like, what? You got to have a heart. Baby, that thing called karma is going to be in full effect. I'm telling you that right now. So Alexia said, you don't owe me nothing, but it's supposed to be black girl magic. Honey, that heifer don't care nothing about you. Okay, I'm just letting you know. She said, well, you call me thirsty. She was like, yes, because you slept with my man. You are dehydrated. Okay, I'm just going to put it to you that way. You are very much dehydrated. Just as dehydrated as those lips of his. Moving forward. She said, but I just want to thank you. I want to thank you, Kai, for taking the trash out. So Kai starts piping up, honey, because that pissed her off. Because you done called her man trash. Oh, baby. She got to get into it as she get into it. She was like, you're mad. You're insecure. Sweetie, you got a cheating bum. Honey, that is no prize. What is she mad about? Girl, you're not making no sense. Then Kai said, I just need a break. I need a break. So then she gets up and she walks away. And then he leaves and chases her. Baby, and then the cameras follow them like they do a lady on Maury that just found out that he wasn't the father. What I tell you, that cameraman was chasing them down. So he go, Darion, go. Y'all just need to go. No, we want to see it. Honey, that's the problem now. Y'all was doing too much behind closed doors. We want to see it. The people want to know. But y'all know it was a hot mic. So we still gonna get into it. So he slams the door in our faces, honey, because he don't want us to get into it, y'all. So then she's like, Darion, tell me right now, am I a rebound? Are you with me to get back at her? Honey, yes, and more yes. Honey, let me say it in Spanish. Si, señorita. Yes, girl, honey. Yeah, yes. Let me tell you something. Kai, I know you don't have any morals and whatnot, and you don't think you did anything wrong, but I'm going to throw you a bone. I'm going to show you some grace in this moment. Sweetheart. Never settle for a man that will sleep with you in private and humiliate you in public as well. I know you think you got something with Darion, but honey, he's a trash can. And he's definitely with you because Alexia said she wouldn't be with him. Because had she taken him back, he would still be over there. Now, granted, he probably would dip back over there with you every now and again because that's the kind of man that he seems to be. But you're worthy of a man that is your man. Okay? I just want you to know that. You are worthy of a man that is your man. That's ridiculous, child. So Egypt is telling Alexia, you two don't need to fight each other, honey, especially not over him. Honey, no person in general, okay? I know it hurts, but just bow out gracefully, okay? I had to learn that the hard way. I used to be fussing and arguing with the other one, honey, calling them and all kind of stuff. No, you want her, have her, okay? Goodbye. I say good day. Goodbye. Because let me tell you something. When you do all that fighting over them, it feeds their ego and it bruises yours. I'm just putting you up on game. In the next scene, Egypt goes to talk to Kai, right? Because she's still in the back. So she finally runs up on her and she tells Kai, look, both of you don't deserve this. He's telling you something and he's telling her something. She said, nobody is mad at you. She is not mad at you. You gave her a gift. After 14 years, she now knows what's happening. And I really just want you to have peace. So then after that, everybody is back together and Egypt asks what advice Dr. Nicole would have for Alexia and Darion. And her advice was to work on themselves. And of course, she goes on her tangent. So she said a little bit more, but we will not be getting into that. So Eric and Jessica are building a home in Orlando and they haven't set a date. Laronda and Sean haven't set a date, but are working on themselves and as a couple. Good luck and Godspeed. Child, and that was the end of the episode. And that is a wrap for season 2 of Put a Ring on It. Child, it has been quite a ride. Let me tell y'all something. When this season first premiered, I did not think it was going to give what it gave, child. But it was one heck of a season. And I enjoyed every messy minute of it. Please do not hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Comment down below and tell me exactly what were your thoughts about this reunion. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.